Good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of the Wick Williams podcast. Uh, again, I want to thank my beautiful wife for the lovely background and my grandmama's blanket again. Um, and today, I want to introduce you guys to my lovely wife, Miss Wanda Williams.
Hello. How's everybody doing? Happy to be here.
Okay, we got her in the building today. We're going to talk about a very touchy subject again, learning how to hate each other from a spiritual level. In my personal experience, we made out our charts and we wrote out, our three major places, which is home, school, and church. And I wrote out the things I learned at home, I wrote out the things I learned at school, and I wrote out the things that I've learned at church. And she did the same. For me, it goes something like this at home. Always take care of home, number one. Two, never leave your sisters behind. You know, three, don't tell nobody what's going on up in this, y'all know the rest. And the fourth thing I learned at home was respect my elders. Uh, School, I didn't do a lot of that. But what I did learn at school was, sports, and sports taught me team play and how to kind of gel with other guys that I was having to be on the same team with. Now, when I get to church, it's a totally different animal. I learned over there, fight fire with fire. Do unto others that you want, done to you. If you love your mother more than you love me, you're not of me. I'm going to turn everybody against each other if you follow me. They're just, I'm just looking at where I got most of my information from. And again, home and school, not so much school, but home and church is where our parents combine the information. And so we get our church first from our parents, and it's taking us to the church house. But anyway, my lovely wife.
Hello. Well, for home, for me, it was family, love, honor, respect, and accountability. I learned the basic economics, like cooking, cleaning. Preparing. My mom was an excellent scheduler. Of course, she taught us about hygiene. My parents pushed education or trade and just being yourself, being genuine. School, school taught me in a lot of activities such as band, um, home economics. We were taught pride. Uh, we were taught to aspire and to bring back whatever you learned to the community. Church, well, church was my life. I didn't mention it before, but my father was the Dr. Reverend Godfrey Lee Brown the Jr. So church again was my life. But when my husband asked me that question about what I've learned from church, I have to seriously sit back and I look at two churches. I look at church pre 90s and post 90s. Pre 90s, we learned about family, morals. It was reiterated. I saw exactly what was taught. If you had a problem, we all had a problem. And again, I learned that firsthand because I heard the phone calls. I saw what was being done to the people, you know. Post 90s, it's whatever you want to do. And I won't elaborate on that. I'm sure we will, talk about that in the future. So those are my three.
So, when you say you learned at church, because again, I learned at church separation.
Mm-hmm.
Post it was together. Pre it was together, mm-hmm. and then post it was separate.
Separate, correct.
Do whatever you want to do, kind of syndrome.
Yes.
And that's what we got today.
That's my experience.
That's your experience.
Yes.
So again, I didn't go to church back then. When I came home from prison, I went to church. I started. I'm trying to find me a safe place to be. I'm trying to find somewhere where I'm not around the kind of negativity that I just left.
Mm-hmm.
So I started looking into places where I thought, well, actually I didn't even want to go to church because I had a leaving prison. I had a pre-thought of what church was. And because of a situation, I was introduced with a bishop of the church, which pulled me into the church. And once I got to the church, I started to participate, the best way I know how to do with truth. And of course, I was elevated because of the truth. And also held back because of the truth. I was only allowed to go so far unless I submitted or committed to a certain doctrine or ideology in which I was unwilling to do. So again, but when I was there, I saw a lot of, no matter which one I went to, I kind of heard the same thing, all over was a lot of backstabbing, talking about one another, clicks here, clicks there, she think or he think they this or that, or he want to be this or he want to be that, or, it was always something that kind of kept us from gelling together unless you was a part of a certain clique.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then the messages, of separation, you can't trust man. I mean, you hear that just about everywhere. And that's not what, in my opinion, that's not what it meant.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost saying to me like God said, I'm going to give you Adam, I'm going to give you Moses, I'm going to give you Noah, I'm going to give you Matthew, Luke, and I'm going to send Jesus, my son, too, but since they men, don't trust them.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get in the church, in my opinion, talking about don't trust men, I think you ought to tell them what kind of men that they're talking about, opposed to lumping all men in together unless you think the crying prophet wasn't a good man. I don't know. I don't, So, not to get into that, but, again, this is where we're getting our information from, and I'm saying that we are getting it from the church and not from school and not from home. We are teaching each other how to hate one another from a spiritual level. And that's my take on it. How do you feel about that?
I agree with that. I feel like basically school should be a reinforcement of what is being taught at home. And when you go to church, it should be a reinforcement of home and school, which is called life. So if I were to think of a word to tie it all up, I would say that word would be accountability. I feel that accountability is all but lacking in the church now. So that's how I feel. I was taught the importance of it. I know the importance of it. But
what about separation?
Definitely separation.
Separation is definitely being taught in the church.
Absolutely. In my experience, if you're not going along with the clique, then you are set aside. And
so
shunned.
You know the clique I'm talking about.
I know personally.
Was you ever part of the clique?
Never.
Never part of the clique. Okay, I'm just. Hey, look, I'm asking questions, y'all. Want y'all to know?
By choice.
By choice.
Each time.
Okay. So they tried to bait you in, and you didn't bite.
Correct.
Okay.
Again, I am the Reverend Sharonda Brown Williams.
So you elevated to Reverend while you was there. So you didn't talk pretty much, not. I mean, because when you teach certain scriptures, in my opinion, they teach separation.
Yes.
So if you was a reverend, then I'm assuming that you went along with the protocol and the messages. So you might have taught some of the separational messages yourself. So let me tell you now, knowing this, do you feel obligated to kind of fix or let people know what's being taught or how it's being taught, or revisit? Should we have fix it, or what do you think?
Absolutely, it's my obligation. Again, church as I know, because I was taught by my father, I am a PK, um, and I was taught accountability. And just because it's not on the platform, or we don't currently have an answer, right now, it doesn't mean that we all need to just go to our homes and close the door. We all can, be accountable ourselves. So that's what we're doing.
All right, y'all heard it here. Again, man, I know we don't like to talk about stuff. I know we was taught not to talk about it, unless we get in our own little circles as men. Because, we get in our circles and we talk about everything. I mean, everything take a beating. Everything take a beating in some of our circles. I'm just going to be honest with you. So we kind of rough with it, So, we talk about these things and we kind of understand what's going on, to us when we get, entrapped by this spiritual hatred that we see going on. And I call it spiritual hatred because, in my humble opinion, we don't learn this kind of stuff at home. This is a spiritual hatred. That's why they refuse to talk to us. That's why they refuse to want to discuss it with you, because they have been taught that the Antichrist was coming, and people are going to be coming that's going to try to talk you against it. Well, they was already telling you then, whether you caught it or not, that they was telling you a lie, and somebody going to come tell you the truth that's going to open your eyes, and don't you accept that truth. I'm telling you right now, all of y'all, in the next 8 seconds, we are being hoodwinked and bamboozled by the black church. That's what it is. That's what it is. And that's what it is. I love y'all. Let's talk about it. Subscribe. Hit the comment button. Hit the like button. Look, sometimes you can hit the don't like button. Hit the share. Let's talk about it. All of us need to talk about it. It ain't nothing personal. Let's talk. Let's be grown-ups. As my wife, I heard her say, it's time to put your big girl, what would you say?
Your big girl panties on.
Put your big girl panties on, see? That ain't sexist. My wife said in a minute, you got to, man, pull your pants up and put your boots on, man. Put your hard hat on. Come on.
And we got to do it together.
We got to do it together. Regardless. Mm-hmm. Even if we like it or not. Mm-hmm. We're going to come out more informed, and more prepared for whichever side you're standing on. It makes no difference. You're going to learn something by having a conversation, something they have taught us not to do.
Right.
I turned to 8 seconds and another 57 seconds.
Well, we have a common goal.
Yeah.
Those are our babies out there.
Yeah. It's passion. I'm passionate about it. Yes. You locked me up, y'all, for almost 20 years of my life. If not a little more. So, yeah, it's personal to me. But anyway, again, y'all, hit the subscribe button, the comment, like, and share. Holla at your boy. Talk to me. Talk to my wife. You don't want to talk to me? Talk to my wife. Talk to one of us. But let's talk about it.